Welcome back to another episode of the Long Hop Cricket Podcast. I'm Dave. I've got Owen sat beside me. This is slightly a improv podcast, if you like. It's a Christmas special, mainly because we've got together for the eve of Christmas Eve, and we thought, you know what, we'll bash out another podcast for you guys to enjoy over Christmas. The ICC have brought out their two teams of the year, their Test team and their ODI team. Me and Owen are going to have a quick chat about both team. Probably look to talk more about the Test team, but
that's the important one, isn't it?
That's the one that matters.
Test
isn't
one,
it?
yeah.
We shall crack on with that now. First of all, if you are celebrating Christmas, will come out on Christmas Day to let you know.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
I love Christmas.
I hope you have a lovely day. If you don't support.
I'll tell you what.
if you don't celebrate Christmas, then I'm hoping you're having a lovely Sunday or whatever day it is, wherever you are in the world. All those 6 subscribers.
To be fair, right? Yeah. You could play. A lot of people could be playing cricket, couldn't they? Around the world.
Australia, there's a Boxing Day Test, isn't there?
That annoys me.
And India,
I'd love to be playing cricket.
It wouldn't be cold, would it, on Christmas for you?
Sorry?
Like, it would be warm. Like, they have Christmas on the beach, don't they, in Australia?
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'd love to be able to just go out and play a little bit of cricket on Christmas Day. Be mint.
Instead of going to the pub Christmas morning, you go out for an innings.
Yeah. Right, go on. Are we going to start?
We'll start with the Test team.
Yeah, well, we're only really interested in the Test one.
The openers are David Warner and Alistair Cook.
Is David Warner number 1, is he?
Well, he'll be taking the first ball, yeah.
That surprised me. I didn't realise that.
Just Cookie takes the first ball for England, doesn't he?
Actually, I'd have Cookie taking first ball.
Warner, I don't think Warner takes the first ball for Australia, but I'm not sure that's...
He does. It rotates.
It rotates?
He changes from whether he faces first ball or not.
What do you think about the openers then?
I think they're hard to argue with. I don't know really who else you could pick.
International openers, we haven't got anybody that...
We had a look at the New Zealanders, didn't we?
Guptill.
Guptill's good, but...
Maybe, is it Rahul for India? Scored that 199 in the last game?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few...
It's a shame that Hashim Amla doesn't really want to open anymore, because he would probably get in there 9 times out of 10 as an opener, wouldn't he?
I think there's quite a few openers at a good level. I think David Warner and Alistair Cook are just comfortably better than the rest of them.
Yeah, I'd probably agree.
So I think that's quite easy.
They've probably been the most consistent over the last few years, and maybe even this year. Though Cookie's had a good Test series against Pakistan. And he's picked up 50s and 50s. It's similar to Warner.
To be fair, as an opener, though...
If you're averaging in the... Yeah. Warner's 47, Cookie's is 46.
Yeah.
In and around there.
And Cookie's been playing forever. Yeah. So that's just more of a testament.
It's weird, Cookie's the captain. And
he's, this team. Slated. Yeah, I know. He's been slated since he got it.
There are other captains in that team.
Yeah, well, we'll get on to that, because I think they've actually...
Cookie's been given the captaincy.
I think they've left out the best captain of the whole team.
Well, they've left out two probably arguably better captains than Alistair Cook. I'm going to have a little look at the ICC Test, the player rankings. I want to see if Cook or Warner gets into that Test batsman top 10. And I can tell you...
How is that judged?
And I can tell you now, no. Warner's the 7th best Test batsman in the world at the moment.
This is... so this just batsmen, isn't it? Because obviously they can't do it for places.
No,
can you? You can't have...
It's just batsmen, yeah. It's points on long runs.
7.
You'd be pretty happy with that for your opening pair, wouldn't you? If this was a dream team.
Where's Cook in it?
He's not on the
He's not in the top 10?
I'm not scrolling to find his name. How many hundreds has he scored? Has he scored 2?
David Warner's number 7 in the world, and Cookie doesn't get in the top 10?
Nope.
Does that surprise you?
There's a lot of players in there that aren't in that team that are in the top 10, mate.
I think, and I could bring this up now before we go through the rest of the team, I think the way that this has been constructed is number 1 being tested against all other number 1s. You can't... So all the brilliant players that bat at 3 all have to lose out to one person. You can't take a number 3 and go, well, he's the next other best batsman. We'll put him at 4.
You can't say Hashim Amla has opened, but he doesn't open at the moment.
Exactly. So you can't put... because otherwise you'd get a totally different team, wouldn't you?
And even when we have a look in the middle order, there's players there that don't deserve to be there, and there's players that
exactly, and you can't really see how it's worked unless that's the only way, isn't it? That they've worked it like that.
Though my favourite player at the moment into Test cricket is one Kane Williamson. I adore Kane Williamson.
I've watched him play. Who was the last?
Was it Pakistan?
Yeah, watched him bat, and he is really good to bat.
He's just a brilliant
Looks
player.
Looks really good.
I think his average is 48, 49?
Yeah.
In and around there. And he's had a great series. He's scored lots of 50s, a few not outs. And
it's just a really, really quality player.
When you look into that New Zealand side, there's a standout player normally. Guptill does all right.
I think Guptill's a good player. I don't think Ross Taylor has become the player everyone thought, because he's got to be getting on now. Because at the start he was meant to be like, this guy's going to be incredible. I think he's good, but I don't think he's a major.
If you look at New Zealand Test scorecards, you know, as we've done throughout the year, had a look at Kane Williamson is a standout name that would normally get you is guaranteed runs, if you like, throughout a Test match. And I really enjoy watching him play. He's not particularly quick, you know. He's not particularly scoring at a rate of knots. He's just a nice player to watch, I think.
I think all the best batsmen in the world at the moment actually do score at a good rate. Yeah. As in, like a run every other ball.
Well, Cookie's probably slower than both of them, isn't he? Warner and...
I think he's the slowest, but I wouldn't say he's in the top 5 best players at the moment.
He's probably in the top 5 openers, isn't he?
He's in the top 2 openers, isn't he? Isn't he, though? Like, even on 1 and 2.
You no arguments with Kane Williamson being in
That's
the team
interesting, though.
No, you're not going to answer that question?
Sorry. I was just saying, because we were talking before about how they've done this.
Kane Williamson bats number 3.
Yes. No, I know. But I was saying, because we're saying they're doing it on position, but Alistair Cook doesn't bat 2. So how have they done that?
It's openers, isn't it? I'm not sure it's that important who faces the first ball.
But if they're doing it just solely on position, then it doesn't work.
They're counting opener as 1 and 2, aren't they?
Oh.
It's not that much of a big issue. But anyway, right, Kane Williamson, you can't argue with him not being in the team, or with him, you know, he has to be in the team, doesn't he? As number 3, he's the best number 3 in the year.
Yeah,
by a long way.
Him and Joe Root would be quite close.
But Joe Root hasn't batted number 3 all year, has he?
Has he not?
No, batted number 4. Didn't he?
Who's been batting Compton. 3 for England then?
We've had Compton. We've had Moeen Ali batted number 2. Compton would have batted number 3. Joe Root came in. Did he come in the late summer? Or, no, was it the Indian? It was the Indian series, didn't it? We had what's his name?
I don't know.
We've had some bad players there, but Joe Root comes in number 4, and that's fair enough as well.
Who's number 3 on here?
Kane Williamson.
Oh right, sorry, I thought you were saying he wasn't in it. No, he is in it, right? Yeah, no, yeah. 5
minutes talking about it.
No, well, I thought you were arguing is he has to be in there.
And he isn't.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
so
good.
Joe Root's at number 4.
Yeah.
There's no arguments there.
Well, I do have an argument there, but we can leave that to the end if you like.
No, we'll go talk about it now. Joe Root's there.
Well, Virat Kohli.
Yeah.
Should be there.
Yeah.
So there is an argument there. But the other thing is like...
But this is rubbish, isn't it?
Yes.
The way they've structured this, because Joe Root could bat 5.
Exactly. And that's easy. Then you fit that in easy.
Virat Kohli needs to bat 4.
Well, I think...
3.
Yeah,
Kane Williamson's fine at 3.
The problem with how they've done this is highlighted in the middle order that they've come up with.
Definitely. Well, Steve Smith's the 12th man.
Yeah, Steve Smith doesn't get in the
best
team.
Year of Test cricket.
Unbelievable.
And he's the captain of Australia. Virat Kohli's had a brilliant year, especially in the recent series.
Yeah.
He's the Test captain of
India.
If you're going to be push comes to shove, you could eke out Cookie. Maybe Kane Williamson could open.
Nah.
Keep Cookie.
No, I wouldn't do that. If it's a team to play.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It sounds stupid, but you wouldn't do that.
So, Kohli number 4 for both of us, I think.
Yeah.
Root number 5.
Yeah.
And then you'd
But that's not a problem, is it? I don't think Joe Root would struggle batting at 5.
But then you'd have to get Steve Smith in there, number 6.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
No, there's
that's just crazy.
We probably eat up a bowler, don't we? So we can keep.
Should we go through who's 5 here?
Well, no, I don't think Adam Vose should be number 5. He scored a big 200.
He scored 235, I think it was, against New Zealand, and he got 100 not out in a Test match. But apart from that, he didn't get picked for quite a long time, and he did really badly in a lot of Test matches.
Yeah, so I think it's one of those ones where they've had to find the best number 5, haven't they?
But his average was 60 something.
Yeah,
that's just from that big 200 and 100 not out.
I think he's had a good start to his Test career, but I don't think he's better than a number 4 that could slot in there. They found out a number 5 and thought, Adam Vogels has been the best in the number 5 position, haven't they? And that's always made the ICC
that might
testing.
Also be because number 5 in teams get swapped about a lot more than other top order batting positions.
Not many players have made it to both Test team and ODI. Now AB makes number 5 for the ODI. He's surprised he's not in contention.
AB de Villiers hasn't played a lot of it towards the end of this year, though.
Well, he is.
But there's some players in this.
He's
test
number
team.
6 in the world in the ICC Test playing, so he's doing quite well. Yunus Khan's up there. He's number 8 in the world.
Yunus Khan, he can't have had a bad year.
We've got Hashim Amla doesn't make the list. Obviously, Root and Smith.
He's been struggling recently, though.
We've talked about. Pujara, the Indian, he hasn't made this list, and he's 9th best batsman in the world at the moment. So it's a bit of a mess, but you would probably take out
Bogus
and
get
stick in Virat Kohli and Steve Smith, wouldn't you?
They have to get in that team. There's no way you're not picking them.
Johnny Bairstow, who's had a brilliant year, he's the wicketkeeper batsman.
Yeah.
And Johnny Bairstow has scored, from what I remember, 3 scores of 150 or more this year, which is fantastic. And he's had quite a few 50s as well. And
he's had to come in at really bad situations for England as well and save them. He's done really well. The
spine of that tail and done really well with him, hasn't he? I've got no questions about him getting into as wicketkeeper batsman.
No.
I think he has been the best wicketkeeper batsman.
The only problem is that he's not really a good enough wickie for your best.
You could argue that AB might, but AB doesn't. You could say, well, in a dream situation, AB would take the gloves and he'd get in the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's probably not really what the ICC are looking at. They're looking.
You got no complaints about Bairstow being.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I think.
But he has to be pushed down the order, doesn't he? And we have to allow.
Yes.
Like we said, Smith and Perry. Now they've got a couple of all-rounders in there. The first one's Ben Stokes.
He always does well.
He's played with injury though, hasn't he? This year.
Yeah, but there's a few in here getting towards the end.
Missed the English summer.
Yeah.
Bits of the English summer. Sri Lanka.
Which people did really well against Sri Lanka in England. So I think if he would have played, it would have only boosted his chances of being in this team.
He scored that quite brilliant 250 at the start of the year against South Africa in South Africa,
which
was
crazy.
Fantastic. It's the second ever fastest double 100.
With Bairstow, we got 150.
They had a partnership of 399, so those two know how to bat well together, don't they?
I think they have saved England loads of times as well. It's consistent.
Stokes looked like to apply himself more as well in the recent the winter in subcontinental conditions. So I think Ben Stokes is the best all-rounder at the moment. Is there any other all-rounders that come close?
Probably not throughout the year, but of recent times you'd say
Ashwin counts as all-rounder, doesn't he? He's had a very good year.
He looks really good.
50 wickets and scored something like 400.
Although I think England's bowling's been too bad to judge him massively on his batting.
But he's had a very good year throughout the year.
But we'll see how he does in, carrying on.
And is there any other standouts?
All-rounders
for that team? I think Stokes definitely is the front runner in that.
I don't think there's really much competition.
Talking about Ashwin, he comes in as one of the spinners.
Yeah, have to be.
Which he is.
Would have to be.
I can't think of another better spinner. No. Actually, I think his mate gives him a run for his money some days. Jadeja. But Ashwin has been...
You'd pick Ashwin.
What's one of the best years I've seen from a spinner, actually.
The cannonball. Yeah, definitely.
Ashwin, I've enjoyed watching him bowl as well. He just looks to toy with batsmen, and it's nice to see proper off spin, because do you think that a lot of people get too...
Do you think he's better than Graham Swan?
Do you think I can finish my question?
No.
Yes, he's better than Graham Swan.
Really?
Yeah.
As a spinner?
Yes, yeah.
Seem very confident there.
Oh, well, I think what I was going to say was, isn't it nice to get excited over an off spinner instead of a mystery spinner?
I've never been excited about a mystery spinner.
But international cricket does, doesn't they? We see somebody come in with a different action.
When Narayan?
We come in, we see... Even if it's... Okay, maybe not just mystery spin, maybe leg spin as well. We're obsessed with not necessarily being excited about off spinners.
It's because off spin's easy.
Yeah, and it's also probably we see a lot of it from people.
If you can't bowl, you bowl off spin.
Yeah, well, we see batsmen bowl off spin,
Yeah.
but it's really nice to see Ashwin do really well. And the next player is another off spinner, which is. Could you have fitted a leg spinner into this team?
Not a leg spinner from world cricket at the moment.
Nope.
No.
What does Narayan bowl? Offies.
First of all, question marks about his action. And I actually honestly think he has had that.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, I think that people have looked at it. And he bowls it, but he bowls it out the front of the hand both ways.
Right, okay.
Mystery spinner.
Jadeja's another off spinner, which could have gotten to him, but Harath pips it for that.
He's left arm, isn't he, Harath? Left arm.
They call him the
orthodox.
wiry old off spinner. He's not.
He's old.
Season pro, isn't he?
Yeah, he's done really well.
And it was nice to watch him in England play because
we were having a look at his stats against Zimbabwe. He took 13 wickets in one Test match.
I think he did well against England, didn't he?
Yeah,
big clumps of wickets at a time. And
against England?
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at it. I don't think he did brilliantly.
Oh, I think he did do well. I remember him. Did he take his 300th wicket against England as well? So he's been around a long time.
He has been around.
And you got to think about the spin bowler he's replaced.
Yeah, no, I know.
In a sense,
no, yeah,
he's doing really well for that.
If Steve Smith's getting in the team, he can be our leg spinner.
Harath or Jadeja for you for Test match? Jadeja offers something with the bat, doesn't he?
I don't think Harath's that bad with the bat, though. He's not great, but I don't think he's terrible as far as spinners go.
Jadeja.
No, Jadeja's way better
I'm
than
saying
him with the
Jadeja
bat.
for me rather than Harath. But I think ICC have done this weird thing where you can't get into both teams. Only Warner has. Oh, no. Only Warner and Mitchell Stark have got into both teams. So, talking about Mitchell Stark, he's had a good series.
Unbelievable.
Good year. Fantastic year.
He absolutely
can't argue with him
murdered
for pace bowlers, can you?
He just murdered Sri Lanka. Stark
Did he?
by himself. He seriously, because I think Australia just whitewashed that series and he destroyed them.
Well, I tell you what, I've got written next to Mitchell Stark's name on my book.
What?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he has been really good.
I think
the only question mark is Dale Steyn gets into that team.
So Dale Steyn's their number 11. He's had problems with injuries this year, hasn't he?
He has throughout his whole career.
So Jimmy Anderson's had problems with injuries this year. Brody, a bit unlucky not to get involved. Picked up that lovely 6 for nothing against South Africa in the start of the year.
Tell you who did really well, and Wokes done really well.
Yeah.
So
and that would he could bat around that Ashwin role, couldn't he?
I think Dale Steyn is overrated.
Maybe Virat Kohli's at different place.
No, but really, I do. He's injured so much, and I think the best players play for long periods of time.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
and he just
Jimmy
doesn't.
Anderson has done that.
No, yeah, but Jimmy Anderson's at the back. Dale Steyn just gets injured all the time.
I'll bring up. It might take me a second. ICC Test bowling rankings, and we'll have a look who should be in and around there. Harath is currently the number 1 bowler in the world. So, sorry, Jadeja. Oh, this is no. I clicked the wrong link. I was just saying,
Harath is the number 1 bowler.
Harath is he's number 3. I can't find out number 1.
I was going to say, I wouldn't have thought Harath would be the best bowler in the world. I bet it's Dale Steyn. They always say that.
I think it's Ravi Ashwin.
Oh, yeah. I'd have no arguments with Ashwin being the best bowler. Especially how he just totally...
So, Ashwin and Jadeja are 1 and 2. Harath 3. Dale Steyn's number 4 in the world at the moment. Jimmy Anderson's number 5. So, Jimmy Anderson's probably unlucky not to be thought, but he has had injury as well,
He's been injured as well. Where's Broad?
Hazelwood, that's a name that we could have looked at.
He's not that good. No, but I've been watching him.
He comes in at number 7 behind Stark.
Who have Australia been playing? Pakistan.
You're not been that impressed?
No, he's pretty normal.
We've had the Wagner, haven't we? For New Zealand, had a good year. Stuart Broad comes in before at number 8. So I think that a couple of the England boys are probably a bit unlucky.
To be fair, from how bad England have been in this India series, they've done well with how many are getting in this team.
In a test team, anyway. Yeah. We've got to make a mind up now. We've got to take a bowler out to fit in.
Harath.
Do you think Harath out to fit in?
Yeah, Smith and
Kohli. We've taken Kohli in for Vogues, if you like. Dale Steyn, does he stay in there for you? Or are you going to give Broady a go? I think Broady should pivot over Anderson.
That's the thing. You complain about it, but I probably would pick Dale Steyn. But if you're going, what I'm saying is, if we were picking the best team and everyone being fit, you'd put Dale Steyn in there. But if you're going on stats and stuff for the year, Dale Steyn has not played enough. It's like when you play at league cricket, you have to play a certain amount of games to be counted for the averages. And I don't think he's played enough.
Dale Steyn's just, I'd probably agree with you.
But if you're going to pick the best, you'd pick him. But they're not doing it like that. Otherwise, Kohli and Smith would be in the team. So,
though, if we look at the team on paper, it's a brilliant team. The ones the ICC have chosen. Forget about not having Steve Smith or Kohli in there. But if you just look at that team on paper, you wouldn't want to come up against it, would you? That bowling lineup's better than the batting. Yeah.
The bowling lineup is closer to what you would pick than the batting is.
Yeah,
definitely.
That's just because they're doing.
And I'll tell you what, the two openers, I think that would work really well.
Smash and stability.
That's nearly perfect. That's like.
And then you got Kane Winnerton to come in as another player, and then Joe Root, another player.
But imagine having Virat Kohli and Steve Smith in that lineup
those four in your team, the top 4 batsmen I think in the world at the moment.
That would be incredible.
Back to back.
I'll tell you what, here's an interesting question. With that team, where would you pick their home country to be?
Right, so I'm going to look at the bowlers for that.
Really? Pick on bowl? Okay, yeah, all right.
Because the batsmen probably should be able to bat in any condition, shouldn't they? Especially if we've got we've got English and New Zealand players. And Australians can bat against a quick ball. New Zealand and England should bat against a swinging ball. We've got some great players to spin in there. I'm going to say Antarctica.
Really though?
That's a Australia, maybe.
What makes you say that?
A pitch that's fast, good for batting, that can also break up for the spinners.
Where do you think it would be the worst one?
Ireland.
I think England would be the worst place for them to play.
They'll stay in
because
Stark.
If you have to say this team then has to play...
There's only 3 seamers in there, isn't there?
The team then has to play that home country. That team would fare the worst in England. Because I don't think the ball swings anywhere else like it does in England.
No, that's right, it doesn't.
So I think they would struggle the most in England.
Yeah, it does swing in
England way more than other countries.
Yeah, but it does swing in New Zealand, South Africa.
Yeah, I know. I think New Zealand is probably...
I think this team would do well in India or in UAE or Bangladesh.
UAE, this team would never lose. With the team we pick, would never lose because of the batting. It's just too strong.
Do you remember a long time ago when a team like England or Australia would have to do a little mini series against the ICC team of the year?
Yeah, but that was
like All Stars.
But that was like
ODIs.
2020s and ODIs, wasn't it? Flintoff was always in it,
and always got injured. Funnily enough, moving on, should we have a quick run through the ICC?
Yeah, go on.
10 minutes left. Have a quick run through the ICC ODI team.
Just run through it quickly, and I'll see if I'll.
David Warner, Quinton de Kock. Rohit Sharma comes at number 3. Virat Kohli makes number 4. AB number 5. Joss Butler, the only Englishman, makes number 6.
That's a no-brainer.
He's not the keeper. Quinton de Kock is, which is fine.
That's fine.
Mitchell Marsh makes it number 7. Ravinder Jadeja number 8. Mitchell Stark 9. The young Rabada number 10.
Rapid.
Narayan number 11 and Imran Tahir, which I think is a little bit unlucky. He's one of my favourite bowlers in ODIs.
South African.
Is the 12th man.
Yeah, I wouldn't have many arguments there.
I think Quinton de Kock's one of my favourite players to watch in ODIs. I was
watching
him play ODIs.
South Africa.
I think he's brilliant.
And Kevin Peterson was on commentary.
Right.
Talking about, because it'd been like a big rain break and they'd come back out after the rain break. and they were talking about like what you do during the rain break. Be like, oh, they'd have been playing a game of cards. Kevin Peterson, like Quinton de Kock, wouldn't have been playing cards. Not clever enough to do that. Like really harsh. Yeah, like he's not the cleverest lad you've ever seen.
Poor commentator, isn't he?
Really harsh.
I don't like.
It's like, oh, we're good friends, but I don't think you are anymore. I really like Quinton de Kock. He looks really good when he bats.
I think he's one of my favourite players.
He's got beefy now as well. He's been hitting the gym.
I tell you, someone I didn't bring up for
medium
both teams is the Pakistani wicketkeeper, Sarfaraz.
Yeah, I don't.
Just hasn't quite.
He's not reliable.
Been better than Bairstow or Quinton de Kock in that.
Nowhere near.
Respect. But he's up there.
He's aggressive.
He's
he's good, but I don't think he's. It's like all the other openers in Test match cricket are good, but they're just not quite touching David Warner or Alistair Cook.
If you look at that batting lineup, Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli comes in number 4, AB number 5, Joss Butler 6, and then Mitchell Marsh 7.
Joss Butler's unbelievable at one day cricket.
Oh, he deserves to be up the order, doesn't he?
But I think that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
I really like watching Joss Butler play.
Virat Kohli's unbelievable at one day as well.
He's got like an average of, his average in this year in like T20s has been like 90 or something.
Who's number 3 in that team?
One Rohit Sharma.
Don't know enough about him or watched enough about him.
If you move on to the bowlers, Rabada. I'm a big Rabada fan.
Really? How much of Rabada have you watched?
So I watched him all the start of the year.
Because I watched him and he's quick, but
he
wasn't that impressive.
England. And then I also watched him in their last Test series, or was it their ODI series? And he's just a really young, quick talent. What's his name? Is his best friend? I always forget his name. The West Indies commentator.
Michael Holding.
Yeah, loves Rabada. Goes and talks to him
regularly.
Of
course he does. He's rapid.
So I'm a big. I don't know much about Narayan though.
Yeah, you do. You'll watch Narayan. He's the guy with that small mohawk.
Right.
Yeah, and he bowls. That's the guy I was talking about earlier. He bowls out the front of the hand. Goes both ways, but he's got that kind of action. Throwing.
So what would you label him as?
Thrower.
Is he off?
I think he's an off spinner, but he bowls both.
I like Imran Tahir.
To be fair,
I think he's a brilliant T20 player.
Yeah, I really like him from what I've watched him as well. I wouldn't count Narayan as a spinner. How's that? Not out. No, but I wouldn't count him as a spinner.
No?
No, because he turned...
Collingwood?
He seriously doesn't turn the ball very much. He turns it a little bit both ways.
But he's good with his pace. Is that...
Well, he varies his pace and he literally like little like cutters either way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's a big spinner of the ball. Obviously, he counts as a spinner, but what I'm saying is...
Would you rather have him or Tahir?
Tahir, I think.
Tahir. I think Tahir's done...
Although I think he's too hard... I don't know. Both of them are very good.
What I've watched Tahir in T20s has just been...
Yeah, I think he's good, but I think Narayan's really good as well. If you can turn the ball both ways and people can't pick it, that's a lot.
Mitchell Stark makes both teams.
I don't think I'll argue with that. To be honest, though, I've watched him and I've never rated him, but you look at the amount of wickets he's taken, it's like, well, that's just rubbish because he's taken a huge amount of wickets.
And I'm pleased Jadeja. Mitchell Marsh is a little bit of a surprise in there. Like, he can hit it, can't he?
Yeah, I really rated him when he started.
Is there any ODI bowlers that could have got into that team? Could Wokes have potentially got into it?
I think Wokes has got more of a shout getting in the test one than the one.
Anybody from England that could have got into that ODI team?
I think Owen Morgan was doing all right, wasn't he?
Who's this?
Owen Morgan was doing all right, but that batting's so strong.
I don't think he's never very good.
He's never going to get in there.
Very good, at all. He missed the series, didn't he? And I think I'd go.
I don't think he had a terrible year, to be honest.
He missed the Bangladesh series, and he's also the year before the Pakistani series. I don't think he had a very.
He did well against Sri Lanka, though.
Did he? I'm not sure.
He did.
I'd have to pull up the stats for that one.
You can.
Bowlers. I want to ask about bowlers. Anybody that could pip their way into that team.
Stokes in that team?
No. But Stokes hasn't done very well with a bat in ODIs, so maybe that's why he doesn't make it in. Mitchell Marsh kind of pips that position where Stokes might have taken.
Because Mitchell Marsh is the Australian version, isn't it?
Yeah, probably not as good. I don't.
Yeah, so I think I would be quite happy swapping them out. But I think the Test team's the one with the biggest flaws in it.
Yeah,
from the picking.
Joe Root doesn't make the ODI team though, and nor does Steve Smith. But Joe Root's had a good time. Johnny Bairstow can't make that team. He hasn't played enough. But there's so.
But they're not obviously not picking on playing enough.
They've kind of got two different teams, haven't they? So they've had to put Virat Kohli in there. Do you think it's a bit of a half-assed?
Steve Smith
of doing it, isn't it?
Is unlucky not to get in either team. That is absolute. Come on.
I think it's a bit of a. If I'm going to be honest, it's not the best way they could have done this at ICC.
No, you need to pick some people to pick the best team, don't you? Because they've gone. I think it's gone too much on some way from stats, and it just doesn't work.
But that's what cricket. Sometimes common sense doesn't come into.
Well, no, when we found that out by looking at Vogue's average, 61,
and we've also found out when you look at the ICC Test rankings. When you look at the batting, the bowling, and also the teams.
I think that is a problem in sport in general. Ranking systems, they don't work.
They don't.
They're just not a reflection of
leagues work, don't they?
Yeah. Yes.
And for a league, you've got to play all the same games.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't have England playing 4 or 5 more Test matches than
rankings.
Pakistan.
Yeah, rankings don't work.
So when we get the job of head ICC,
it'll be great.
When this picks up and we do that, we'll make some changes. I think we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Once again, we hope you all have a lovely Christmas.
Leave a comment of your best 11.
This is a bonus
rainy day.
A bonus rainy day podcast. We did say we were going to bring out our next captain.
Yeah, we've got that one ready to go.
We've got that one in reserve. But I would like to say
Merry Christmas.
This will come out on Christmas Day, and we'll also have another podcast on New Year's Day for you.
Right.
Which will have a look back at the year, England's year in Test cricket.
And we'll probably mention some other thing, won't we? Because I've been following a lot of Australian cricket because it's on BT Sport.
So, we'll
go over the year's cricket, but it's going to be England.
We'll have a look at England's year in cricket on. Expect that on New Year's Day. So, and then you've also probably got one more episode before the ODIs between England versus India. Thanks again for listening, and we shall speak to you again
in the new year. Have a nice Christmas.
Yeah, we'll speak to you in the new year.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the subscriptions so far, and make sure if you are not subscribing, get involved because
it's only going to get bigger. Be here from the start. Well,
a
bit late for that now.
Episodes, but
so it's your own fault.
Subscribe.